That's Van Morrison, A Brown-Eyed Girl. It's 13 minutes to 8. A Telford woman who suffered a serious knee injury, while playing a game of Duck, Duck, Goose, and we'll get into that in a minute, has just taken on one of the toughest races around, the Buildwas Mud Challenge. Jo Beardsmore is 26, she's from St George's, and had to go through a series of operations and worked with a personal trainer, Stuart Henderson. You'll hear from Stuart in a minute as well. But first of all, here's Jo. Jo, good morning.
Good morning.
Tell me what Duck, Duck, Goose is first.
Oh, it's so embarrassing. It's a little child's game or infant's game where you sit in a circle and whoever's on goes tapping the head saying duck, duck, duck. And if they say goose, you have to chase them back to your space and beat them. And my little nephew tapped me on the head and said goose, so I was walking after him and my knee just popped out and destroyed my ACL ligament, so...
This is a little game with your nephew.
Yeah,
and it caused all that problem.
I know.
Hey, listen, I came off the settee about 12 years ago, 14 years ago, I came off the settee and broke both legs.
Oh, wow.
So there you go, yeah. So tell me about your lifestyle before that. Were you keen at sport before that?
I used to be, yeah. I used to do a lot of running back in the old days, of course, at school and at college. I was quite active, but then obviously when you get a job and grow up a little bit, you can't really be that active. But I used to be really quite active, and then when the accident happened, it was just it was horrible, because I just couldn't play with my nieces or nephews anymore. I couldn't really do anything, but I'm glad that I'm fixed now.
I'm sure. Did you feel that was it? That had done you for the sport then? That was it?
Yes, definitely. Because it took quite a while for it to be fixed. I missed out on great opportunities to go ice skating, for instance, with my nieces and nephews. I wouldn't be able to do that, and I felt, I was always using my knee as an excuse not to do things, because I was too scared of hurting it again, and I couldn't actually physically do things. So, I actually thought it was it for a while.
Tell me about the surgery you went through.
So I had 3 lots of surgeries, and the first one was to have a look around. The second one was to replace my ACL reconstruction, using a bit of my hamstring and just repaired the ligament that way, using metal work as well, just to hold it in place. And then because my metal work had slipped and it was rubbing on the bone, my last surgery was to remove the metal work completely from my knee. And that's... Yeah,
it's a childhood game.
Yeah, I know.
Look, stick with me for a second, because we'll come back and talk about the Buildwas Mud Challenge in a sec. Let's talk to Stuart first of all, personal trainer Stuart Henderson. Hello, Stuart. Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Stuart. How did you help Jo then?
When I first met Jo, her leg was black and blue from top to bottom, and I met her in October, and we've been working on a specific program to strengthen the muscles in the whole of her leg. So we're strengthening the hamstrings, we're strengthening the quads, the calf, making sure that her knee is stable enough to do everyday functional things. And on top of that, we've been improving her overall body strength and cardiovascular endurance, which enabled her to do the mud run yesterday.
How difficult was the rehab, really?
For Jo, at the beginning, it was difficult for her, because she's been a fantastic person to work with. She's always pushing herself. She knows how far she can go, but with gentle encouragement, she has made some fantastic improvements. I'm really proud of the progress that she's made.
Is there a message in there for other people?
I would say, if you have an injury, don't let it get you down. There's always a way forward. Injury isn't a thing that should stop you. You can always find a way around that injury. Always. It isn't it isn't something that's going to stop you for the rest of your life. There's always, like I say, there's always a way forward, and Joe has found that way.
Let's go back to Joe and find out about the Buildwas Mud Challenge yesterday. So how was it?
Hard work, I'm not going to lie. That was probably one of the hardest things I've had to do, and I'm so glad that Stuart stuck to my page.
Tell me a bit more about it, this Mud Challenge.
It was in Buildwas, and you start off nice and easy, running through fields, and you think, yeah, this isn't too bad, I can do this, all uphill. And then you get into like the wooded areas, and there's puddles that are like waist deep, and I got stuck in the mud countless times yesterday, and random people just had to keep trying to help me pull me out.
How far was it, this course then?
10k.
6 miles then?
Yes.
Goodness me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and I think when we passed the first mile marker, we were like, really? Has it only been a mile?
How do you feel this morning?
Aching
Yeah.
all over.
Yeah.
Funny enough, from what Stuart said when he first met me, my leg was black and blue. Well, both my legs now are black and blue. But it was it's such a sense of achievement, and it was so much great fun. And you get a real support feeling of teamwork, because even random competitors just help you out. And I wish I knew the names of the guys that helped me out in the mud yesterday, because they were forever pulling me out.
And how did the knee stand up to it then?
The knee was absolutely fine. Absolutely fine. If anything, it was the rest of my legs from the brambles and crawling new shoes that are suffering. So, but yeah, the knee was absolutely fine yesterday. And Stuart, I can't praise him enough. His work has got me to where I am now. And for anybody who's had an injury or something like that, Stuart is definitely the guy for that.
Great stuff. Good to talk to you, Joe, and thank you very much indeed for joining us on the show this morning.
Brilliant.
Have a lovely day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
And Stuart, thank you very much indeed. Stuart Henderson, personal trainer, and Joe Beardsmore from St George's, who had to go through a series of operations after that little game at the kids' party. Duck, Duck, Goose did her knee, and she's done the Buildwas Mud Challenge yesterday.
Shrewsbury Town.
And it is all over.